everyone, welcome to Ashutosh Academy. Today I'll be teaching you L hospital rule in limits. Okay, this is something new for you, but this is kind of thing this is kind of a formula which is going to help you in your exams. So let's understand what is L hospital rule and what does it say. Supposedly, if something is given in the question, you've been given as x tends to 0 for a given function. Okay, when you put the value at x is equals to 0, here in these kind of question you don't need to calculate left hand limit and the right hand limit. Okay, because the function is always gonna have its differential and continuous. It's gonna be continuous. I'll tell you the conditions for it later. Let's first understand, if suppose you are asked to solve this question, how are you going to solve it? That limit x tends to not 0, I'll be taking it a. Okay, again considering it as first a and then making a equal to 0 first. This is how we make the formulas work. So you are asked to solve this question. So how are you going to solve it? Let's understand. If you supposedly you put a x tends to a in this function, in both above function and below, and you find that the numerator becomes 0 and the denominator becomes 0. So it's giving you 0 by 0 form. Okay, so if any time you get 0 by 0 form, the question can't be solved. Okay, obviously if you get supposedly infinity upon infinity form, in that case also you can't solve the question directly without using L hospital rule. You can't solve it. Okay, if you're asked to solve infinity minus infinity, that could also be not solved. Okay, because something subtracting from infinity and it is also infinity, you can't, it's undeterminate form, it's indeterminate, it's never ending. And if you get 0 raised to the power 0 form, this is also a kind of an L hospital rule formula based, because something 0 raised to power 0 is not defined. Okay, 1 raised to power 0 is defined. Okay, 1 raised to power infinity, this can also be not solved without using an hospital rule. Okay, and you get infinity raised to the power 0. Okay, these are the kind of question. Achha, one more thing I have, 0 into infinity. This is also similar to that only. You can't solve these questions without L hospital rule. Let's understand how you're going to solve. Suppose you have two functions, f of x and g of x. And you've got two cases here. How you're going to solve it? Okay, I'll tell you. It's very simple. L hospital rule is something which is going to help you in exams. Seriously, very easy method to solve questions. There are two methods. Not exactly. There's only one method, but the rule will be same for both of them. Okay. Suppose you put limit x tends to a in the function f of x, and that comes out equal to be limit x tends to a g of x equal to 0. Okay, means I mean to say that numerator and denominator both becoming 0. In another case, here what is going to happen, it's going to be equal to infinity, not 0 but infinity. I'm just comparing both the results. Okay, because I don't have that space to write it here. You can understand very easily. Here the same method is followed, limit x tends to a f of x and limit x tends to a g of x, and you are getting it equal to as infinity. That means in the given function, in the original question, numerator and denominator both have become infinity upon infinity. You can't solve this question without using L hospital rule. Okay, second condition, both functions f of x and g of x are continuous at x is equals to a. Now you'll have to see my other videos on continuity, then you'll get to know if the function is continuous at x is equals to a. What is continuous? It just means that at a point a and just before the point and after the point, the function is not breaking, it's continuous. There's no indiscrepancy here. Okay, that is why we say it's continuous. Okay, third property, it is both the functions. This second and third property is common to first and type 2, both of their types. Okay. Next it says both functions are differential at x is equals to a. Again, you'll have to see my other videos on differentiability. You'll get to know what is differential there. Okay. Now, I hope you know how differentiation works. Okay. And now suppose you calculate f dash of x. F dash of x is simple. It is this d by dx of the function. With simple differentiation of the given function with respect to x, the given variable, and it's called differentiation. Okay, and you get another quantity g or dash of x, that is also going to be d by dx of g of x. Suppose we calculate both the values, and both the values also come out to be continuous at x is equals to a. You're getting both the functions. On solving, both of them exist, like both of them are continuous. Okay, so how you're gonna solve it? Okay, one more thing I'll make clear here. The type 1 was involving 0 by 0 form, and type 2 is involving infinity upon infinity form. See, the rule is going to be same for any type of question that you get. 0 by 0, infinity by infinity, infinity minus infinity, 0, anything that I have written here. But there is a certain format that I am following. That's why I am telling you for both of them equally, differently, and you can understand more easily. Now the method says, in the part 1 and part 2 both, the method says that limit x tends to a, okay, f of x divided by g of x is going to be equal to limit, okay, it's going to be equal to the differentiation of individual functions, and this certain rule provided that g of a is not 0 here. Okay, this quantity, when you put a here, it should not be 0. Okay, so you've got this value. There's a point that I want to make here is this value, this whole value is different from what? Different from this value. People get confused. This can be 0 because it's involving limits. This is not involving limit. This is exactly the value of function j at point A. That should not be 0. Limit, when you write limit, that means you're calculating left hand, right hand, and the middle exactly at the same point. All of them being equal, then only the limit is existing. Okay, so you're going to follow this method. Supposedly you get this whole quantity, and this also comes out to be, and when you put a x equal to a in this function, you again get 0 by 0 format or infinity by infinity format. Then you're going to further substitute it with this double dash of x, double dash of x, provided g or dash of a is not 0. Okay, so this is how you calculate, and watch my other videos on this L hospital rule. You'll find more examples, and thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, Ashutosh Academy.